Listen closely to these words. The only foundation upon which a true guardian could ever be built. It's a line that rings with ancient truth, isn't it? It talks about a foundation, not of stone or steel, but of something much, much deeper.
And that brings us to a story, a parable really, meant to teach us about that very foundation. It's a tale we call The Knight at the Crossroads, and it's all about how a true protector is born.
So, picture this. Our story begins in a kingdom that feels like it's been forgotten by time. All ancient stones and gray, heavy skies. A place where the old magic is just a whisper, a faded memory. And it's here that we meet our main character, a young scholar named Bryn. Now, Breen, he comes from a great and noble bloodline, but you would never know it to look at him. He's bookish, kind of uncertain. He's much more at home with dusty old manuscripts than he is with warriors and swords. Honestly, most people barely even notice him. He's the absolute last person you'd ever pick to be a hero.
You know, in every hero's story, there's that one moment, the one that changes everything. But for Brian, that moment isn't some great victory. Oh no, it's a moment of complete, crushing failure.
And it all happens so fast, just a blur of twilight and sudden terror. Rogues attack him on the road, and his courage, it just shatters. He does the one thing he can think of. He runs. He abandons everything and just flees into the dark, swallowing forest. But there's no escape. His panicked horse throws him, and he goes tumbling, crashing down a rocky slope, left all alone and completely broken.
And the first thing he feels, it's not the physical pain. No, it's the sharp, bitter sting of his own cowardice. He had a chance, a single chance to be brave, and he just failed. Then, of course, the physical reality hits him like a hammer. He isn't just scraped up, he's shattered, lying there helpless, his blood staining the cold, ancient stones. And finally, when you strip away all the pride and all the strength, what's left? Just raw, chilling fear. And it is right here, at his absolute lowest point, that his real story is about to begin. He finds himself lying at the mouth of this vast, ancient cave. And it's in this spot that the world of men crashes right into the world of myth. He's about to be given a choice that will define not just what he becomes, but who he is deep in his soul.
I want you to imagine this. In the gloom, two towering figures appear before this broken young man. Not just anyone, mind you. This is Merlin, the one who has seen all of history unfold, and his daughter Roma, a literal keeper of reality itself. And they don't offer him pity. They don't offer him comfort. They offer him a test.
So, they present him with a choice. On one side, there's the Sword of Might. Gleaming, powerful, it represents conquest, brute force, all the glory he just proved he didn't have. It's the easy answer, right? The quick fix? And on the other side, there's the Amulet of Right. It looks like nothing special. It doesn't offer power. It offers responsibility. It is the path of the Guardian, a much harder, lonelier path that will demand everything from him.
This is it. This is the moment of truth. After you've been beaten, after you've failed, after you're just plain terrified, what do you choose? Do you grab for power just to make sure you're never weak again? Or do you choose something else entirely? And Breen, he makes the most remarkable choice. He doesn't reach for that shiny sword, the very symbol of the strength he was just wishing for. No, instead, with a kind of honest humility that can only be born from total failure, he reaches for the amulet. He chooses duty over dominance. And let's just pause here for a second, because this is the entire lesson of the story. This is the heart of it all. True strength, the kind of strength that actually builds a guardian, it's not about how much power you can take for yourself. It's about how much responsibility you are willing to carry for others, especially when you feel weak. It is the choice to protect, not to conquer. And in that one selfless moment of choice, the amulet just blazes with light. Brian is transformed. He rises from that cave, and he is a completely different person. He's not just stronger, he's been chosen. I mean, he is literally reborn in a flash of light and crimson. He's suddenly clothed in this mantle that carries the entire soul of his nation. The uncertain scholar is just gone, and in his place stands a champion. He becomes Captain Britain, a guardian chosen to stand at the very crossroads of worlds. But Merlin leaves him with one final piece of wisdom, a quiet warning that is the central truth of this whole thing. He says the amulet didn't choose him because he was the strongest or the bravest. It chose him because at his absolute rock bottom, when he had nothing left,
He chose others over himself. He chose responsibility. And so, that story leaves us with a question we have to ask ourselves, doesn't it? In our own lives, when we're at that crossroads, when we're faced with the easy path of just taking for ourselves versus that harder path of responsibility for others, what is our amulet of right? And do we have the courage to choose it?